Hello guys, welcome to my channel Tech Bulletin Prime. I am Rajnikant and today's video will gonna discuss Lambda expressions and method references of Java 8. If you have not subscribed my channel yet, please do subscribe it and hit the bell icon to get all the notifications. So let's begin. Lambda expressions are simple anonymous functions, right? So Lambda expressions are simple anonymous functions. So what does it indicates? It's a anonymous functions, right? So the name itself indicates it's a anonymous function, right? Anonymous means unknown. There is no name, right? So Lambda expressions are a function which don't have any name, right? So if you want to see the syntax, let me create a concrete method first. Public void get balance, right? So this is a method. So if you represent this one in anonymous function, so we need to remove this entire thing, and here we need to place a arrow symbol, right? So this represents an lambda expression, some basic syntax of lambda expression. So no method name, second one, no return type, right? So no method name and no return type. So now the question is where we can use these lambda expressions, right? So lambda expression is lambdas are backed by Java 8's functional interface, right? So these lambda expressions are backed by Java 8's functional interface. That means wherever we are passing a interface and argument, there we can use these lambdas, right? So in an example, I will show you in details, right? So lambdas are backed by Java 8's functional interfaces, right? So wherever we are passing a functional interface and argument, there we can pass lambda expression. So let's see an example. So let me open IntelliJ IDEA. So here I have already created a small project. This is source folder and this is package. So let's first create a interface. Let's The interface is bank. Let's create this one as a functional interface. Add the red functional interface. So in functional interface only and one only abstract method will be there. So just see here it's showing error because we don't have any method now. Let me put void get red. So just see that error gone. So functional interface means only one method will be there, only one abstract method. Let me keep one more method. So if you see, if I'll put two methods here, it will show it is showing error, right? Because it's a functional interface, so only and one only abstract method will be there, right? So I have created a bank interface. Let me create one test class where we'll test everything. And let's create psvm public static void main, our main method, right? So one more method we'll create here, public void fetch rate, right? And here I am passing that interface reference, so it will receive an type of bank object, and here I am calling this dot get rate, right? So let's create this object. We'll call fetch rate test equal to new test and t dot fetch rate, right? So in fetch rate we need to pass this bank, right? So this is an interface, right? So we need to pass an implementation object, right? So here we can pass an implementation object, right? So how we can perform this one, how we can pass here? Two ways. Either we can pass implement implementation object, right? Implementation object means from the bank reference, sorry, bank interface, we'll implement another, I mean, we'll take one class and implements from bank interface, and we can pass that object here. We can pass implementation object, or directly we can pass an anonym, we can pass anonymous inner classes, right? So let's see the first example. We can pass implementation object, right? So let's create one implementation class SBI, and let's implement bank, and here it will ask for implementation method. So it's done. Let me system.out.println will do SBI implementation, right? So let's move to test, and here we need to create the object bank b equal to new SBI, and we need to pass this b, right? So let's run this one, run test main. So SBI IMPL, right? So this is one way, right? How we can pass that object to interface to here, right? So let's see the second approach. So the second approach, let's bank b equal to new, here not SBI, new bank. So this is a representation of anonymous inner classes, right? System.out.println anonymous inner class. Okay, so here I am passing this b to here. Okay, let's run this one, anonymous inner class, right? So instead of going through the fast approach, we need to create an implementation class, right? SBI implements bank, we need to create an implementation class and override this method. Then again we need to create that object bank b equal to new SBI, then we need to pass. But instead directly we can pass this anonymous inner class, right? So instead of storing into some variable, directly we can pass like this also, control C, control B, right? So directly we can pass like this also. Let me remove this one. Okay, let me comment this one, right? So instead of storing into some variable, directly we can pass like this, right? So here let's see the dot class files got generated. What are the dot class files got generated? So let me run this one, right? So anonymous inner class. So let's see what are the dot class files that got generated. So here you can see SBI class, bank class, test class. Those class files got generated. Plus here some dollar class dot class files got generated. This is due to anonymous inner classes, right? So now let's coming to Lambda. So how we can represent this one to lambda, this anonymous inner class to lambda. So lambdas are nothing but it's anonymous methods or functions. So those don't have any name, right? So let's remove this entire thing. Let me remove this entire thing, and here we go, and here we can place an arrow symbol, right? This is simple anonymous, sorry, this is simple lambda expressions, right? So instead of this entire thing, we can remove this entire thing, and we can pass this lambda to here, this b, and let's run now. So just see, it's printing anonymous inner classes, right? So let me print some else lambda, right? So this lambda expressions, we are passing this fetchRate method, right? In fetchRate method, just see here the reference is bank, right? Here this bank B is receiving here, and on top of that one we are calling getRate, right? So this is that simple anonymous functions are lambda. So instead of storing into some variable and we are passing to here, we can directly place it here, right? So let me run it again. So here you can see lambda expressions, right? So what is the advantage of this lambda expressions? Let's see. So if you are thinking these lambda expressions are again converted into anonymous inner classes while compilation, then that is our wrong assumption, right? So it is not converted into those anonymous inner classes, right? So let me show you here this folder, the generated.class file folder. So here you can see there is no, now there is no $.class files, right? So it's get rid of those $.class files, right? So here we got that for this anonymous functions, or for this lambda expressions, for this lambda expressions will not again convert into anonymous classes, right? This is something else. That's why those $.class files will not be there, right? So this is the advantages over anonymous inner classes, right? We'll get rid of those memory footprints, we'll get rid of those class loading and those garbage collection things, because here in lambda expressions there will be no $.class files will be generated for this one, right? So on more simplification we can do, what we can do here, only single line is there, right? Only single expression is here, right? So we can get rid of this curly braces as well, right? So we can get rid of those curly braces as well. So if you represent this a single line, right, like this. So here I have left one thing. So let me run it again. So here you can see it's running fine, right? So this is how we can implement lambdas over anonymous inner classes, right? So this is whole thing. So now in this interface we have, sorry, now in this interface only we have, there is no parameter, right? So let's pass some parameter string name, It's showing some problem. Yes, that problem we're gonna solve. Let's delete this SBI class, implementation class, because we are going to use Lambda. So here let's pass some name. Let's pass some name, pass some string here, right? And here we can pass t dot fetch rate string, sorry, string s, right? So sorry, I missed the t, string s, right? So in this method parameter, in this parameter we can pass a parameter string s, right? And the same thing, whatever the remaining thing is same. So if you want to pass two parameters, means like this here, some more, if the interface containing two parameters, right? Suppose here in that bank interface, string name, string id, right? So here you can pass string id, right? Though as we are calling in this method, here we need to pass some arguments, right? Suppose 1 2 3 4, sorry, 1 2 3 4. Okay, so like this, two parameter means you can pass two parameters here, right? So one more thing is, okay, let me run this one. I'll show you. Run test main. So you can see it's printing that lambda expressions, right? So instead of this uh, type string, we can get rid of this type as well, right? So this is called type inference, dynamic type. This feature is called type inference, right? So there is not required to pass those types in this parameter as well. It will take care of that one, right? So this is this thing. Let me run it again. Just the lambda expression is printing. So this is that whole lambda expressions things, how we can implement, right? So wherever functional, so wherever anonymous inner classes you were passing, so there we'll get rid of those things and we can pass lambda expressions, right? So lambda expressions without parameter and with parameter also we have seen. So right, so what is the advantages also we seen, that it will get rid of those dollar dot class files, dollar dot class files, so it will reduce the memory footprint and class loading things and garbage collections also, right? Now let's discuss method references. So how we can represent those lambdas with method references as well, right? So method references are nothing but some already existing methods, and we can pass those methods instead of those lambdas, right? Instead of those lambdas we can call those methods there. So I'll show you an example here. So let's create a method first. So this, in this lambda expression or in this functional interface, we have two parameters in that method, right? So if you see here, get rate and two parameters are there, right? So let's create a method with two parameter, public void get rate details. So here we'll pass string name and string id, right? And here let's put some sysouts method reference example. Okay, so this is a simple method. So let's take this one static method, then we'll come to non-static method. Okay, yes, so I have created a simple method, right? So generally lambdas should be one line of code or hardly two lines of code, right? It should not contain a hard 50 to 60 lines of code or some a lot of business logic, right? So if you have 62 lines of code and you are putting into lambda, so it looks odd, right? It's not recommended to do like this. Suppose here lambda should be hardly 2 to 3 lines of code, not more than that. If you have suppose here putting some 50 to 60 lines of code, then it looks odd, right? So in that case we can go for, so suppose you have some business logic you want to perform, so that time we can go for method references. So how you can go with method references? I have already created a method, right, with 2 parameters. You can see in that lambda is also 2 parameters. So how many parameters are there in that lambda or in that functional interface? The same parameter, with the same parameter you can create a method. And what are the business logic you want to perform, you can perform here. So also let me print this name as well, name plus id. Okay, let me print that one. So how we can replace with that one, right? So this is simple a method, right? This is a static method. How we can call these static methods from a class? By simple using class name, right? So how we can replace these lambdas? Let's remove this entire thing. Let me remove this entire thing, right? So we need to call this method from this class, right? Test, and this double colon is called method reference. You can see here it's showing those methods, get red details. That's all, right? So let me run this one. Right, so here you can see method reference example, my name and id is printing, right? So if you have some business logic you want to perform with some lines of code, then instead of going to lambda, it's better you can go for method references. Suppose it's a small amount of lines of code, you can hop in that lambda, but if you have some lots of logics are there and you want to reusability those logics as well, right? Suppose this method is there, you want to, it's a reusability logic, right? So always you can go for method references. So this is regarding the static method. So suppose this is non-static method, how we can do that one? Non-static method means we need to call on top of a object, right? So here simple, you can create a object, new test, and with the method reference double colon and get red details, right? So this is all about method references, entire thing. So in upcoming videos I will create some streams and other Java 8 related stuff, so stay tuned. Hope this video will be helpful to you people. If it's helpful, please do like and share this video, subscribe my channel, and have some comments in that video comment sections regarding this video if anything is lagging from my side. So thank you.